Este episodio está dirigido a mayores de 18 años. Incluye contenido sensible y temáticas que podrían no ser adecuadas para todo público. Se recomienda discreción.
Chris Moorman, for me it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to hear about the Uruguayan hand that you played yesterday.
Yeah, last night in the closer, I actually maxed out Reg because I was doing a bunch of tourist stuff all day. So
Good.
I was like, okay, I should still play those. So I come in. Actually, you get a lot of big blinds for max out Reg. I think 38 big blinds, and straight away I bluffed off most of my chips. Got lucky to come back to starting set jacks against tens, but then I won a few pots without showdown. So I had quite a loose image, and it folded to me in the cutoff, and I opened off 44 big blinds to 2100, 500, 1000 with ace queen of clubs.
Okay.
And the button made it 6500. And so I have a few options here. I could just call, I could shove, I went for the I decided to induce and made a small re-raise because I thought he might go crazy against me, maybe shove like ace four suited, like a lot of hands I dominate. And if he flats, it's, he could flat king queen, like stuff that I dominate. So he goes 6,500, I go 13,000. He calls. And it came 7-5 to one club. So I have backdoor flush draw, two overcards. I bet really small, 6,000. And he's instantly all in. And I really just felt like he had maybe a flush draw.
Yeah.
And like maybe he can have jacks and tens. But even against them, it's not that much of a disaster because I have two overcards, so much money in the pot.
Exactly.
And, I just didn't want to fold. No, I thought I could have the best hand. But yeah, like obviously, it's not like amazing situation. But I call. He won't turn over his cards. He just wants to run the board out. So I was like, okay, I flip over my ace queen, and he turns over 6-3 of clubs. So I have this backdoor flush draw covered, and he has the gut shot.
6-3 of clubs.
Yeah, so he free bet me with that, and then he called the 4-bet. And then it came a 5 of clubs, so we both turned the flush draw, and then the river was offsuit 6.
Oh, no.
So the whole time, I laughed. It was funny hand.
Very unlucky.
Yeah. So that's why I don't need to rush for day 2, and I got plenty of time to spend with you now.
Excellent. That makes me happy. I love the term Uruguayan hand.
Yeah.
So it could be, maybe we can say creative.
Yeah, exactly. Outside. Not standard,
Exactly.
just to the streets. That's old school. That's kind of how I like to play poker anyway. None of all this solver stuff. So I like to just get in there and battle with people. So I appreciate it, apart from the river.
So you have been doing touristic things. Is it your first time in Uruguay?
It is, yeah. Like I went to South America before, to Brasilia, but literally there I just played the tournament. So this time I told myself I was going to get out and explore a little bit away from the resort. Because obviously the resort's nice and it's easy just to stay here. Especially I don't really speak Spanish, so it's quite hard. And I just came alone for this trip. So, it's quite intimidating to go out and find your way around when you don't know the language. But, these days you have Google Translate. Lots of people speak English anyway. There's always someone. So I decided yesterday to go and do a whole tourist day, and it was really fun.
Did you learn any word in Spanish?
I learned a few words, but not like phrases. I know.
Chivito, probably you learned that one.
What's that?
Chivito? No.
No. What is that?
Order. It's a very common. It's like, I would say, like the main meal, one of the main meals in Uruguay.
Okay.
It's a sandwich with beef, or it can be chicken, and cheese, ham, and a few things, and then fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that one yet.
That's very important.
My favorite was the dulce de leche.
Yeah.
And the panquetas.
Panqueques.
Pancakes, yeah.
Excellent. I think panqueques are the best thing in the world.
Yeah. I'm going to get some when I go back home.
Do you like dulce de leche?
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of something actually like back in England that we had as growing up. It's like kind of, like I hate to put it in the same category because it's kind of like a processed dessert.
Okay.
But it was called Angel Delight. But
Okay.
I remember having it as a kid and it was my favorite. So
Oh, good.
yeah. So after I got knocked out of that hand last night, I got room service and got the dulce de leche, and it was perfect. It was a nice little sundae, and it came in like a mousse one. Yeah.
That make you happy.
Yeah, exactly. I went to bed happy.
What are the main, I know it's a very general question, but what do you feel are the main differences between maybe like the UK and a country like Uruguay?
Well, firstly, the weather.
The weather.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think people might be like more friendly as well. Like UK people maybe keep to themselves a bit more. Everyone, every time I get in the lift, everyone's trying to chat to me, and I'm like, no. I just smile and say buenos dias. But no, it seems like obviously it's so beautiful here. Like green, very green.
Very green.
Yeah. But no, it's just very different. It's obviously so far, like so far away. I've also not lived in England for like, I guess I've been living in America for like 10 or 11 years now. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so always when I go back home, like doesn't change too much. Like where my mum lives is kind of a small town.
Okay.
So yeah, I go back and it's kind of the same as when I left it. But just depends where you go in England. Obviously, London's so different. It's more like New York. So yeah.
But the weather is always the same.
The weather's always, yeah, kind of miserable, unless in the summer. But then obviously the summer, I'm never there in the summer because of the World Series of Poker. So I miss that.
How is to live in Las Vegas? Because I've been there many times for the tournaments. It's beautiful. At the same time, I know that I just know a like part of Las Vegas because I'm always at the Strip. But I know, I mean, it's a big city. How is to live in Vegas?
Oh, it's so good. Like actually, sort of 15 years ago, obviously I've been going to Vegas since I was 21 for the World Series of Poker. And every time I left, I was like, get me out of here. Even if I had a big win in summer, I just wanted to be done because the weather's just too hot. And you know, you know, especially when you're in your 20s, you go hard and you're ready to like have a detox and whatever. So it was the last place on earth I wanted to live. But I moved there like 6 years ago, and it's been the best place, and it's like home for me now.
Good.
It's very different. Like I live off the Strip, like 30 minutes from the Strip. So I only really go to the Strip when there's poker on. And I have like all my local restaurants there, loads of different things. Like I play pickleball a lot there, and I just walk there. It's like less than a mile from my house. And the weather's like, outside of the World Series, the weather's actually perfect the rest of the year. And I have to be there for the World Series anyway. So it's nice. I can just, you know, each day I can go out, play golf, do stuff outside. And it's not like too hot apart from the summer. So yeah, you can go hiking. There's so much stuff to do basically. And I have a lot of friends who live there now, and poker's easy there as well, like in the sense there's many games available. You can play online, you can play live, cash game, whatever you want really. So
good. So it's like because of different things, but poker is like one of the main things.
Oh, for sure,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
When I first moved there, it's like, okay, it's good for poker, and then like all the other stuff kind of worked out. So yeah.
Good. How many years have you been playing the World Series of Poker?
Like 18, I think. Every year since I was 21, I qualified online when I was 21. Just played one preliminary, like 1K event, and then the main event. But back then, that was when you bought in for like $1,000, they gave you 1,000 chips. That's how long I've been playing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you just got the exact number of chips, the dollar amount kind of thing. So.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I played every year since then, and I always love it. Like the World Series is like live poker for me. Day one, I kind of hate, like it's just too slow. I much prefer online. But the World Series for 2 months, I'll go there and try really hard. And I still make sure I know myself. So I try and do stuff in the morning, do like a morning activity. Yeah. And then I come in, late register, play for a few hours before dinner, and then, you know, hopefully bag. And then obviously day two, you're there from all day. So I try and preserve my stamina. Like I know that if I was there from the first card off the deck every day, I would just get tilted if I was losing. So I know, by now I know how to approach it.
Well, I know that in the UK, poker is more like, how can I say, popular. Because in some countries like Argentina, it's not really, I mean, now of course, Uruguay, we have these tournaments, but I know that in the UK, for example, you could play like sometimes at university, like as a club that you have, and those kind of things. So when did you start with the cards, with poker?
I actually started with cards as a kid. My mum and dad both played bridge, which is kind of an old person's game, but they got me into it when I was like 10 years old. Okay. And I played for a few years, and I did pretty good. I mean, there's not much competition at that age group. So I played for like England under 21s, but it's not
really?
they're not that impressive because there wasn't that many people who could play.
But anyways,
but yeah, I enjoyed it. But then as I got like older, it started to rebel or whatever. I didn't want to play because you couldn't play for money, so it wasn't as exciting. I'm playing against people who are like in their 60s, so it's not really. You start to make friends with people. But then obviously once I found poker, I found it at university, and my best friend set up the poker club at university, so we would play a lot. And yeah, I just got really into it, and it just like clicked to my brain. I always liked games growing up, and I just loved that you could sort of play a game for money, and just went from there really, and dedicated like sort of all of my 20s. It's crazy looking back now because it feels like a different lifestyle now, because now I have like a way more balanced life. But back then I kind of needed to make it work because I didn't finish my degree. So,
What did you start studying?
Economics.
Okay.
Economics, yeah. And I left in the last year. So I didn't really have a fallback option. So I was, okay, I need to make poker work. So I just played like 7 days a week and just,
Wow.
you know, tried to meet everyone I could, learn from them and evolve my game and just put everything into it. So I was like, I can't fail at this. Otherwise, like, you know, I'm screwed.
This is the only thing I have
Exactly,
now.
yeah.
Do you remember who was like the first person that you looked at to learn?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's two of my best friends. They were like in my wedding and stuff. It's funny because he put a bad beat on me in a big tournament for me at the time. It was an interesting situation because the guy on my left was disconnected, so he was sat out the whole time.
Okay.
And I was just waiting to steal his blinds, but obviously someone would always still raise before me. But this was back when I didn't really understand poker tournaments that much. And so I didn't know you could re-raise without a big hand. So I was waiting for my big hand, it just never came. And then finally I got ace king, and this one guy had been stealing his blinds all the time. So I go all in, and I'm like, yeah, showed him. And then he called me with ace queen, and I was like, what are you doing? Obviously it's a standard call. I should be shoving wide there, but I didn't know that. And he hits the queen, and I was mad. And normally I would just turn the computer off and walk away. But a part of me like was like, okay, this guy's actually like, it was like a aha moment kind of thing. I was like, actually, this guy's been playing well. He's been winning a lot of hands without seeing his cards. And I started thinking that was probably the best hand he had the whole time he raised. And I was like, okay. And I'm thinking while I'm watching him play, and he ends up winning the tournament. And I send him a message like, congratulations, you played great. And maybe he recognized that that was the screen name that he put a bad beat on with like 18 people left. And I added him on MSN Messenger, which was the thing back then. And we just started talking poker. And he was from the UK as well, from Leeds.
Oh.
And he'd been playing a little bit longer than me, so he was a bit more advanced. But I kind of just got free coaching off him pretty much. When he was playing in the cash game, I'd just watch him play, and I'd be that annoying person asking, what did you have there? What did you have there? And then we met in Vegas that summer and really got along. And his other friend was playing more tournaments. He played more cash games. But yeah, it just became one of the best friends in my life. And we like lived together in Vegas with stuff and still hang out all the time now. So it was pretty cool, yeah. Everything happens for a reason, right?
Beautiful. That's a really good story. What about, because you started with poker, you were very young, but then your career became a success because you have been first of the world for online poker for years. How did you do it?
It was like, if it wasn't my job, it would have been an addiction, you know? Like, like at least because it was the job and I was making money, I'd be like, oh yeah, like I'm just doing it to like make money and whatever. But I just loved the competition. It was like a drug for me. Like I just liked beating people. And also, like, it's definitely a time looking back that I wasn't really that happy when I wasn't playing poker.
Okay.
Like, so poker gave me that sort of happiness and winning. And then when I was kind of lost because it was very, you know, like if you dedicate yourself to something that much, it's very hard to like keep on top of everything else. So like, you know, I needed to get in better shape, go to the gym, and then like I had some social anxiety from spending too much time behind a computer. All those things you don't really hear about, but like I was doing well at poker and like had made a lot of money, but like I wasn't happy. So, you know, over time I sort of was able to sort of work on those other things and take a backward step. But at the time I needed to put everything I had into poker because like I said, I didn't have any qualifications, so I had to make it work. So, but like for me, it didn't feel like a job. I just was like always excited to play. Like now I love Sundays. They're my like day to play online poker. And I always, it's like Christmas Day for me.
Really?
But back then when I was like 21, every day was like that. It was like, it was sick. I almost didn't want to go to sleep because like I needed to play. I need to be playing all the time. But obviously, you know, I had to sleep and the schedule did like slow down a little bit. But, you know, as soon as I woke up, I was like checking what tournaments were on. And I became obsessed with like the rankings online and stuff like that. And it was nice back then because it was much more of a community online as well. Like you know, one of my friends made a final table, I'd be watching, they'd be sweating me and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
do you think that we don't have that now anymore?
Not so much. I think, you know, like even like last year, the online rankings went away, which was a sad day for me. And like a lot of my friends have stopped playing, or now they played live cash or different things. So when I play online, it's more just me by myself, and you know, it's a lot harder for motivation, you know. So, but you know, and the game's changed. Back then, also, it was so nice. You could just try different stuff every day, and sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't. And there was no one to, you know, you talk about it with your friends and you give your reasoning, but it wasn't like the solver says you're not allowed to do that, you know, and then like, you know, slapping your wrist and like, that's really bad. Like you could justify anything and you just kind of work things out. So it was nice learning new strategies that way, playing rather than studying.
Yeah, actually, in this couch, a lot of people have been sitting saying the same, saying that back in time, poker
Yeah.
was much more fun.
Yeah, it really was.
It's crazy, but like this week, it was like the same speech from everyone. And I think, yeah, I mean, the solvers changed the game a lot.
For sure.
How is to play now poker online?
Online, it's a lot tougher. Like, I still love to do it, but like, even I couldn't do it like 5 days in a row. Like, I have to take more days off, and I have to be excited to go play, and because it's much more draining. You have to play less tables. Like back then, I used to play 25 tables maybe.
Crazy.
Just the more the merrier, you know. And like, I wasn't. You just had such an edge on the table, and also when you got deep in a tournament on the final table, you normally always got top three. Really.
Yeah.
Now it's like everyone sort of knows what they're doing. It's a lot harder. You have to, you know, smaller edges. So I still enjoy it, but it's just not the same, you know.
Do you remember the first? Probably yes. The first time you went to a poker live tournament, what were the feelings? Because you have been playing just online, such a great grinder. But how is to like go and face all the players?
Yeah. Well, live, I actually really struggled the first few years.
Okay.
I used to joke with Sean Deeb. Me and him were the biggest live losers, and then, you know, obviously he went on a big live heater and stuff, and I ended up doing okay in live poker. But the first time I remember I qualified for the Amsterdam Masters Classic.
Okay.
And I also, you know, I've been doing well online, but I didn't want to use my online money to buy into the live tournament because I didn't think I was really ready. Okay. So the way I looked at it was like, if I win a satellite, I'll play and I'll learn that way. So I qualified for this, I think it was like maybe €3,000 tournament. And then I actually got put on the same table as two British guys. One of them, JP Kelly, really well-known player. Like, he was like an online prodigy from the UK, because I remember they did a documentary about him when he was like 19. Wow. And I watched it on TV. Okay. So he was like a hero to me, and then he was on my table and I was so nervous. And they were both talking about cash games online from like 5-10, and they obviously heard I was British, and they were like, what do you play? And at the time I was only playing $1-2, but I maybe shot take at 3-6 occasionally, and I would be like, oh, I'm playing 3-6, and they'd be like, oh, what's your screen name? I told them. They're like, oh, we haven't seen you. I was like, oh, I must be playing different hours, you know. But like, I was trying to like act all like big man, and then anyway, I was so nervous. I remember I raised one hand, just a standard raise, and it was JP Kelly's big blind, and everyone folded. So I was like, I just threw my cards into the middle and collect my chips. And then I looked up and he was like, no. I was like, what? And he still had cards. He hadn't folded. So I was like, oh no. And I'd mucked my cards, but he was nice. He gave me the raise back. So that was nice of him to get. He didn't have to do that. And then we became really good friends. But yeah. Really? Yeah. But it was funny because I was so nervous my first live tournament.
That's a good plot twist.
Yeah. And it still took a bit of time in live poker for me to work it out. It was a lot slower game, and I needed more patience.
Do you feel the same now from your side? Like, people is nervous when they see you. Can you feel that?
Yeah, sometimes you can definitely feel like if they're nervous because like they're intimidated, or sometimes they're nervous because like they haven't played much live poker, or they handle the chips differently. It's definitely like when you've been playing a long time, you can definitely feel like how you have that kind of almost like a superpower to feel like how other people are feeling, and like, you know, if they're tilted or different things like that, you can kind of feel their energy. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Can you tell me, if you want, what are the main leaks that you can see in people?
In general here, or live poker?
In general, live poker, like
live poker. I think people get they get impatient. They're like, and they're very like, if they haven't won a hand for a while, they make some kind of marginal play, or they get a bit frustrated because, especially if they play online, you've got so many tables, you see so many hands in a short space of time. Whereas live, if you lost your last hand, and then you just don't get any good cards for 20 minutes, the whole time you're thinking about that hand, you know? So now when you suddenly get a hand, you think, I have to win it, like no matter what. Even if the guy's raising you on the turn and he hasn't raised, all day, you still think, oh, I must, I have top pair here. I can't possibly fold to this guy. You don't think about the big picture because you sometimes get stuck in the bubble. So yeah, I think it's the more over the years I've realized, a lot of these big live tournaments is about sort of staying patient, losing the minimum when you have the second best hand. Just basic things, but they all add up over time, kind of thing.
I remember your book. I have your book. I remember because I've been there. I've been during how do you say it? when you really released
okay,
the book.
okay, yeah.
Okay, and it's a very good book. I read it. When did you decide to write book?
I think I was living in Los Angeles at the time.
Okay.
And like, yeah, like someone came to me, the publishers came to me with the offer, and at first I was like, no, not for me. Like, you know, it felt like
Really?
schoolwork. Yeah,
Okay.
because they were like, you have to write, maybe I can't remember the minimum amount of words, but it felt like very intimidating to me. But my wife, she was like, oh, you, yeah, why don't you do it? Like, it's a cool opportunity. Like, you can always, you know, no one can take that away from you. Like, yeah, like it'd be nice to give something back. Because I never really wanted to do like coaching and like videos. Well, I tried to do it once before, but then before I released the video, I was like, I feel like this is giving away too much about my game. So I decided not to do it. But she was like, this is a way you can like do something like that. But, you know, it doesn't really affect you like in terms of your game. It's not like out there as videos about how you play hands, but it's how you think, which is more like subjective. So I decided, in the end, I decided to do it, and I really enjoyed doing it. And then actually the second book, I wrote all of that myself, whereas the first one I did half and half. The second one was very intimidating. I think I wrote like 90,000 words. So, and then I did like my whole life story and stuff. But that was really cool because it was I was able to reflect on a lot of things and sort of see where I came from and like how, like give myself a pat on the back, I guess, because sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit. Like you're still mad at yourself if you make a mistake, even though, you know, you have to think of how well you've done before that rather than like, oh, you messed up one hand.
Do you remember any like mistake that changed you?
Not really a particular mistake. I remember like, obviously I used to back a lot of players, and that kind of was fun at the time, and for me it was a good investment because I didn't really know what to invest in. I don't even drive, so so I couldn't really buy a nice car or something with the poker winnings. So I was like, what do I do? So I decided to invest in poker, and obviously when I first started doing it, poker was very easy. So I was willing to invest in like lots of players, but I got almost too greedy, and I didn't have an assistant, and I tried to do everything myself. And then like when players who weren't that good got into big makeup, I tried to chase my losses, and I didn't want to get rid of them. And so I made a lot of mistakes with that. And but it's one of those things I wouldn't, if I went back in my life, I wouldn't not do it. I would have just done it differently. Like I made a lot of cool and amazing people through it, but it definitely screwed up my poker bankroll for a while. And like, but you take the positives. Like I had to almost start all over again. And like at the time I felt really bad, but like, now I had extra motivation to win and like stuff like that. So it all worked out in the end. But like, obviously my dad was almost like, I told you so, you should have bought a house.
That's the common like parent advice, sure, I think. I need to ask the general one, but do you have any like top 3 or top 5 of players that you admire?
In different ways. Like obviously like Doyle Brunson, like when he was around, he was someone I really looked up to, because back in the day I signed with Doyle's Room, and at the time that was when I was sort of very socially awkward and just playing online. And I met him in real life at like a dinner, and he had some like amazing, like captivating stories. So it was really cool to meet him. And then he actually wrote the foreword in my book and stuff like that. So he was definitely someone I looked up to. And then like, even like, and then there's some people I'd never even, like Dan Harrington, I remember reading all his books, but I actually never met him or played against him. But always wanted to, just to like tell him and be that, he probably heard it all the time, but I was like, I reread them all, but yeah, so they were a big thing for me, inspired me when I first started playing and stuff like that. And then obviously, like different people you play against, you can remember, like I remember the first time playing against Daniel Negreanu, who was in the Bahamas in PCA, and I was so starstruck. And then now it like, obviously after you played against someone a lot of times, it just feels normal. But yeah, so many people, like just different, like obviously all the kind of cliche ones like Gus Hansen, like I remember playing against him for the first time, and just it's really cool to sort of I've played against everyone now. I've been playing poker so long. Yeah, so it's nice to have like played with these players and realize they're just sort of normal guys as well, and like everyone's kind of been super nice. I've never really had any like asshole experiences, so that's good.
Good, that's really good. What motivates you to keep playing poker?
For me, I just like love the competition. Like I don't like to be someone who is just sitting around doing not much, watching a TV show or something, I either have to be going out and doing some like a game with my friends, like golf or pickleball or something like that, or playing poker. I can't really sit around doing nothing. So, you know, if I have plans to do stuff, I'll always go out and do those, unless it's a Sunday, and then I just can't. But other than that, like if I'm not doing anything, then I sort of feel like I have to play poker. Like that's my job, and I always want to try. And I know so many people over the years who sort of got complacent, and the game passes them by. So I'm always trying to work out on my game and like fix some leaks. And I feel like for me, the best way to do that is by playing a lot. Like obviously I still study away from it, but it's my main form of learning still is playing, like just seeing what works and what's not. And it's kind of old school, but I'd still use the solvers and run it stuff against that, but that's not my main focus, if that makes sense. So yeah, I have to play to stay decent.
Interesting. So would you say that the experience for you is the main thing?
Definitely. Like I try to trust my gut. Like I have a mind coach that I've worked with for like 10 years.
Okay.
And like the most important thing to me, he says, is like when you're playing well, you trust your gut over like the theory. And like, because it really annoys me if I listen to the theory in a situation and like my brain is telling me, my heart's telling me another thing, and I listen to the theory and I'm wrong, because I'm like, just listen to yourself. Like I've played poker half my life. So, you know, if I trust myself and it doesn't work out, at least I could just, you know, it is what it is.
That's really interesting. I like it, because in general, I mean, it's difficult because you have like the theory, and then you have sometimes the perception at some points. Of course, you have the theory like inside of you, you know how to play, but it's good to trust yourself.
Yeah, and like when they're saying two opposite things, it's like, which one do I listen to? So it's better to listen to yourself rather than the theory, because at least you can be just annoyed at yourself. Whereas the theory, you're like, what are you going to do? You can't go and smash up Pearso or whatever, can you?
Yeah, that is very good. Do you have any goal in poker, and then what's your goal in life?
In poker, like obviously, I'd always like, it's hard to have set goals in the sense of like a certain tournament. Like you know, I'd love to final table or win the World Series Poker main event. That'd be my dream thing. So I'll play that every year until I die. Like, I'll be there. Try. Yeah, I'll be there. I won't be like, I know Phil Helmuth did his video the other day. I won't be there moaning that I'm too old to play. I'll still be there, even if I'm falling asleep at the table. But no, like I just try and like, you know, try and have a winning year. Like I just start from there, just play my best. You know, try not to play like if I'm not excited to play, because I found when I'm trying to play poker to make myself happy or like change my feelings, then it just never works out. So yeah, that's my main goals really. Like in poker, obviously I've done a lot of things I want to play. I still want to like win an EPT, and I hadn't been able to travel because I was waiting for a green card like recently. So but now I've got it now, so I like we'll be playing a few more of the EPTs, but it's tough because there's just not many of them, you know. It's the hardest one to win. There's only 2 or 3 a year, and even Prague is in December. I have to stay for the win just because it's right by where I live, and I final table every time, so I have to play that one. So yeah, like, those are like my individual kind of individual tournaments I'd like to win. But for me, it's just to have a winning year, like still be a winning online player, basic things like that. And then in life, it's just kind of to be happy and just to like appreciate all the things that poker's given to me. Like I've been to so many different countries, experienced so many different things. So, and all of these things really like wouldn't have been possible without poker. So I was lucky that I found it when I did, at a time when it was much easier. Because, you know, if I discovered poker, you know, say I was a different age and I discovered poker now, I don't think it would have worked for me, because like, you know, you have to come in all studied, and like that just would feel a bit too much like school. And I always like struggled to work hard at school. Like I had a lot of potential, but I just never like fulfilled it. One of those kind of people. So yeah, I was lucky I found poker at the right time, and it worked out, and I ran good to start with, because you have to, otherwise you want to quit. So yeah, so just always think about those things and just enjoy life really. So yeah.
Probably you have traveled the world. Do you have any country that you really want to go that you haven't been?
Oh yeah, still so many. Obviously the world's huge, and I haven't really touched on Asia much, because I didn't play cash or anything like that over there. So I really, this year I wanted to go to Japan. Like yeah, it's just, I feel like it's so different to anywhere I've ever been. So I'm going to try and go to Japan like after the World Series, maybe in October, something like that. So yeah, there's just so many places I still want to see. So you know, and yeah, just kind of enjoy them, and like yeah, even like this is my first time in Uruguay in South America, really, and I've just had a blast. It's been great. The weather's been perfect. It's been nice to have, you know, summer when even in Vegas, it's not like cold, but like it's, you know, I appreciate the sun right now. I got sunburnt on my first day outside, obviously.
That's a lot.
yeah, exactly. Well, you know,
Being a poker player and being from the UK.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bad combination.
So you have been in the museum?
Yeah,
back
Pablo
in the museum?
Actro. Yeah, it was really good. I just went out there by myself yesterday. I got an Uber 30 minutes away. I was a bit like, okay, I don't know what I'm walking into here. And even then, when I got there, I was like, okay, I'll just go to the information desk. But it had a sign on it and said that they were filming something. So the guy waved me away. So I was like, okay, I'll just walk through and see what happens. But I was there for like 3 hours. It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it was so like peaceful and beautiful outside. And yeah, art's not even really my thing, but I just really, yeah, I loved it. And so I always think if you really like something that's not your thing, then it's way better. Like, for example, like I really hate onions, but if there's a dish and there's onions in it and I really like it, then I'm like, this is a phenomenal dish. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, I'm not really into art, but like I had a great time, you know, going there and seeing it. Like if I go and watch a football match, I'm going to like it regardless. Or if I eat a pizza, I'm going to like it regardless, even if it's a bad pizza. But yeah, so I really enjoyed doing that. Like I walked and just went to the beach as well. The beach was beautiful and it was kind of empty as well. I guess I went pretty late at 6 p.m. and saw like the fingers and yeah. So I was just trying to do all the tourist things, but just say I'd done them. And but yeah, it was really fun just going out and exploring. So that's trying to, because me and my friends, we made a pact like earlier this year that when we go somewhere for a poker trip, we're actually going to go and not just make it about poker, like go and do the other stuff.
I was going to ask, when did you start to go outside the poker room?
Yeah. Probably like when I met my wife, I probably like did because she forced me to. But before that, I would just go to play poker to see stuff. But you know, I was I have to go and do stuff, keep her entertained as well. So no, but like she forced me to go and do these things. Like
That's
I was,
good.
yeah, exactly, like writing my book and like going out. So yeah, she was definitely a very good influence on me in those respects. So. Yeah, like I look at myself now, I'm going to be 40 this year, which is crazy. But like me now compared to when I was 21, it's like a different person. You know, you obviously, everyone changes, but like I feel like I've been through an evolution.
That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the main thing that you changed?
The main thing, I guess, I don't know. It's like hard to say. I'm probably like a bit more responsible now. Like in the past, I was just all over the place. I was like my friends used to call me a cartoon character. I would just like, you know, I would get on a plane, get lost, like forget my stuff everywhere. I try to be a bit more organized. I mean, I still make mistakes, everyone does, but like I would just do dumb stuff. Like, I don't know, like I would leave the house and forget to turn off the taps in the sink, and then I come back and my house would be flooded. Like just dumb stuff like that, or you know.
That's crazy because you were very responsible to like grow your career as
but like I'm very absent-minded. Like sometimes I'll just be thinking about poker hand I played 3 years ago, like rather than like, oh, what's for, you know, I should turn off the oven. So like I try to like be a bit more aware of things, and like it's a work in progress. I still falter sometimes, but yeah, I'm getting a little bit better with that stuff.
Excellent. I have the last one, Chris. Well, now there are lots of young people, of course, like all the time trying to get into poker.
Yeah.
What would you say to them now?
Well, it's like a weird thing because it works both ways. Like the game's much harder, but there's much more information readily available. You know, just watching stuff online. There's so much, even free information. Like you can watch on YouTube channels, good players. Like you can watch final table replays, like Triton. You can see what the best players are doing. So as, you know, you can take that. You can make notes. You can see what works. Whereas obviously back in the day it was a lot easier, but you'd have to make it up yourself. So it works both ways. But I would just say, like, take all the information in you can. Try and like, don't try and do stuff too quickly. Like, I feel like people want to be in the biggest games. They want to like get. I think backing in general is not a good idea for most people, because you know if you win, you have to give so much away, and like that, you know, if you just had your own action, that would be like, you know, that would cover couple of years of losing or something like that. Whereas if you have to give it all away, and then you know you've got to win again. So there's plenty of time in poker. You know, so obviously some games, sports, you have 10 years at the top, your body can't compete afterwards. But like in poker, as long as you sort of stay active, mentally active, you can still be playing at a high level into your like 40s, 50s. So there's plenty of time. Just don't want it all too quickly. Don't move up so fast. Just each time be one of the best players at your average buy-in level before you're ready to move up, and like give yourself certain bankroll. Just so you don't risk going broke. And obviously, it's different for different people in different situations.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're just on your own and you're willing to take shots, that's fine. But you know, if you have family and stuff, you have to be a bit more responsible. So yeah, but there's lots of information out there to help you on everything. You know, back when, you know, even like everyone knows now to have like a good mental game, that kind of stuff. Back when we first started playing, it was just like, do it by yourself and deal with it if you get bad beats, you know, and just, yeah, get on with it. But now there's a lot more help available. It's just a bit, you know, everyone's a lot better. So it works both ways.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your
No
time.
problem.
It was a pleasure. And we can go again outside to the beach and eat pancakes.
Yes, sounds perfect.
And have fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.